When you're working on a project, you need to do regular checkups to see if everything is going according to plan. Did you plan enough time? Are people spending time on the right things? Are there any problems you can fix now? To help you see what's happening on your project, you can create a report that compares the time that's been planned versus the actual time that's been worked. This planned versus actual report gives you the data you need to help you make effective decisions going forward. So here's our scenario. Several mining specialists at our fictional company, Lunar Industries, have been working on a mineral mapping project on the moon. As they work, they log their time in tempo timesheets to the plans that were assigned to them in Capacity Planner. The project isn't finished yet, but the project manager wants to check how on target they are. And to do this, she'll run a planned versus actual report. Let's go ahead and create that report. First off, you need to have both tempo timesheets and Capacity Planner installed so that you can compare the logged and planned time on a project. In Capacity Planner, work has been planned for these resources on work items in the JIRA space called Lunar Mineral Map. As they work, the resources can open timesheets and see their existing work logs and plans. To log their time to a plan, they just click the checkmark, and a work log is created for it. To edit the number of hours before they log time, they just click the card and change the duration to what they want. Then log the time. Once there is time logged to the plans, we can create the report. Just click Reports from the sidebar, and then select Planned versus Actual. You can choose a filter to show what you need, and you can filter for all these different things. I'm going to select Project, and then enter LMM, and select the Lunar Mineral Map JIRA space, where we're tracking our work for this project. Now I can decide how I want to group that filtered data, and I want to see the time grouped by each user that is working on this project. Then I click Create, and the report is here. I'm seeing data, but it doesn't look like there's many hours yet. That's because the time period shown isn't what I want, so I'll go up here and choose Current and Quarter, which is the time span for our project, and click Apply. And now I see all the planned time compared to the actual logged time for this project in these colorful rings. We're about 1/3 of the way into the project, so our goal is to have about 1/3 of the total planned time to be logged, and we're pretty close. Each user is listed down the side here with an assigned color tag, such as purple for Catherine. And you can see her in the rings. She has 12% of all planned time and 13% of all actual time, so that's about right. I can switch from rings to bars, which makes that comparison easier to see clearly. It looks like most users have pretty similar planned and logged time, except for David, who has a higher percentage of logged time than planned time. Let's dig into the details down here to see what's happening for each user. Their planned time is here, and the actual time. And the variance between these two is shown here as a percentage. Since we're about 1/3 of the way into the project, a 60 to 70% variance is to be expected at this stage, and our average variance is about 72%. Catherine is at a good variance, with her actual time being about 1/3 of her planned time. Eric and Vivian, however, have a higher variance with less time logged so far. And David's variance is lower than the others, with about half his planned time already logged. The reasons for this could be that the project manager needs to plan more time for his work, or maybe it's that his workload is more on the first half of the project. This report gives you a heads up to investigate when you see outcomes different from what you expect. I'll go back up here and switch back to the rings, and I can check this top header that gives a summary, which is handy to get a recap of the data at a glance. Another thing I'll do is add a grouping option. In this case, I want to see a breakdown of each role. I'll just remove the user and then add it back to get the correct order in the report. The roles are listed here and in the rings, and I see that the geologists have the most planned time, but not the most actual time at this point. Down here, I can see who the geologists are and what the role's summary is, as well as the details for each geologist. I can see which type of work and roles are required for this project and compare where the most or least time is being spent. I'll switch back to seeing just the user for this report to keep it simple. And now I'll save this report and give it a name. With it saved, I can go up here and share it with other Tempo users, such as Saul Goodman, who has permission to see the same data that I do. For those who don't have Tempo access or permissions, you can click Export to save a printable view for them. Then click Print. And you can select the printer, or click down here to save it as a PDF. So by regularly running this report during the lifetime of the project, I can monitor and evaluate how my team is doing. And when the project is finished, I can see what actually happened. It looks like there should have been better load balancing between Erica and Eric, or more time planned for Catherine's tasks, or more resources hired to help out Vivian and Amy. So for future projects, I'll be able to forecast resource requirements better because I have the data from the team's performance on this project.